Hello and welcome to the Top 10 Ghostbusters Facts. I'm Des O'Gorman, co-founder and CEO of the Ghostbusters of Scotland. Now the title Ghostbusters almost didn't happen. When they started shooting, the name Ghostbusters was copywritten by Filmation, and during the shoot they had to use other names like Ghost Blasters and Ghost Zappers. Filmation worked out a deal so the name Ghostbusters could be used by Columbia for the movie, and then they retained the TV rights, which is why this spin-off cartoon series was called The Real Ghostbusters. Now the PKE meter is a very popular prop, maybe just not as popular as the proton pack. Now the PKE meter has been used in two other movies, as a communicator in John Carpenter's They Live, and in the Hulk Hogan comedy Suburban Commando. Now when they were making Ghostbusters Afterlife, they had found a barn with a collapsed roof, and they loved the look but just not the location. So they bought the barn and then transported it brick by brick to the shooting location and just rebuilt it as it was. Ernie Hudson, the actor who played Winston Zeddemore, actually auditioned to reprise his role in the cartoon series The Real Ghostbusters. He lost to Arsenio Hall because apparently Ernie Hudson didn't sound enough like Ernie Hudson. Now that famous car, the Ecto-1, is a 1959 Cadillac Miller Metro. Now this car was in every version of development of Ghostbusters, as Dan Aykroyd is a huge car fan and just really wanted it. It was originally supposed to be black with purple lights, but it was changed to a white paint job with blue lights so it could be easier to shoot at night. Now the script was originally written by Dan Aykroyd as a vehicle for himself and his then partner John Belushi. It was very different to the movie we got, as it was originally written that the Ghostbusters were already established and would travel through time and space to bust ghosts on different planets and in different dimensions. When the original version of the script changed, it was director Ivan Reitman and writer and friend Harold Ramis that helped frame the movie as a going into business movie. Dan had the part of Peter Venkman written for John Belushi, but when John passed away, the part went to Bill Murray after a lot of searching. Now that most famous of ghosts, Slimer, never actually had a name in the movie. The name came from the Real Ghostbusters cartoon series. On set, the green ghost was simply called Onion Head due to the smell from the paint. And he was also inspired by John Belushi, specifically his role of Bluto in Animal House. Now Ghostbusters was a massive hit in 1984. On a budget of $30 million, it made almost $300 million. But it wasn't the most successful comedy in 1984. It was pipped at the post by the Eddie Murphy comedy Beverly Hills Cop. Now the proton pack wasn't in the original draft. The tools of the trade were supposed to be SWAT-style helmets with visors and wrist-mounted pop-out wands. Fortunately, they changed it to the amazing packs, and sadly for us fans they're as heavy as you think. The movie hero packs with lights weighed almost 30 pounds, or over 2 stone. Ghostbusters the video game was released in 2009, and for fans, it was considered Ghostbusters 3 until Afterlife was released. It was set in 1991 and the player controlled a voiceless character called, well, Rookie. It was based on Dan Aykroyd's original pitch for Ghostbusters 3, then called Ghostbusters Hellbent. Now the game got all the original Ghostbusters back to reprise their roles, as well as some of the supporting characters such as William Atherton, who played Walter Peck, and introduced many new ghostbusting tools such as slime tethers and stasis streams, and maybe they might show up in a future movie. Who knows?